Welcome, everyone. Today, we're bringing you an explainer that dives deep into the source material surrounding the Neuralink 4, or the N4 chip. And honestly, this fundamentally challenges how we view the future of human biology and artificial intelligence. You know, for decades, cultural fears have always warned us about this external AI uprising, right? Like robots taking over the world. But today's source material explores a totally different paradigm. What if the potential algorithmic threat happens silently, literally right between our ears?
Okay, let's dive into this. We always feared the AI uprising, but we never expected it to happen inside our own skulls. The source uses this idea to really set the existential stakes of the Neuralink 4 integration. We're not just looking at a fancy new piece of consumer tech today. We are examining what the research suggests is an architectural shift in what it actually means to be human.
Which brings us to part 1, the AI in our skulls. Let's look at the sheer reality of the first human-AI hybrid interface experience. Now, to grasp the magnitude of this interface, we really have to juxtapose two fundamentally opposed systems. On the one hand, we've got the biological reality, synaptic firing. This is organic, it's messy, and it's completely powered by chemistry and fluid dynamics. It's basically the beautiful, chaotic engine of human thought. But on the other hand, we have silicon, binary execution. This is a highly structured, mathematically flawless, cold digital reality. The N4 chip acts as the bridge that's attempting to seamlessly connect these two completely alien environments so they can communicate in real time. So how exactly does one connect those two opposing systems? Well, that brings us to part 2, breaching the biological barrier. To merge consciousness with silicon, you can't just slap on an external sensor. You literally have to physically bypass the biological barriers that have protected our brains for millions of years. The execution of this architectural breach requires 3 staggering steps. First up, the hardware has to target the blood-brain barrier. And to do this safely, step 2 is entirely non-negotiable, deploying advanced surgical robotics. Why? Because of step 3, achieving sub-millimeter precision. Human hands simply can't perform this operation without causing massive tissue damage. It is an absolute marvel of engineering. Autonomous robotics delicately weaving synthetic threads directly into the living tissue of the human brain. Now, what's really interesting here is that the architecture relies on a massive 1024-channel microthread array. This isn't just some simple single-wire input. It is a staggeringly high-bandwidth superhighway of data, woven directly into your gray matter. We're talking 1024 individual channels working simultaneously to read from and write to the brain, completely bypassing our standard biological sensory inputs. This takes us directly into the data translation layer. Part 3, synapses to binary code. This is where the boundary between human and machine really begins to blur. What the N4 chip is fundamentally doing is converting ionic neurotransmission into digital signals. I want you to think deeply about what that actually means for a second. Your organic thoughts, your memories, the very chemical sparks of your consciousness, which are essentially ionic reactions, are being intercepted in real time. The chip acts as a translator, pulling those organic ionic sparks and immediately outputting them as readable, cold digital machine code. And it secures all of this with 256-bit encryption. The source describes this high-speed 256-bit encrypted digital signaling as acting almost like a cognitive Trojan horse. The data streaming in and out of the brain is completely locked down and processing at blinding speeds. It happens so seamlessly, in fact, that the biological brain might not even distinguish the encrypted digital input from its own organic thought. The machine's code processes so effortlessly that it essentially disguises itself as organic thought. Of course, this massive cognitive evolution requires highly specific hardware placement. That's part 4, the prefrontal cortex jump. And this brilliantly illustrates a major leap from past technologies highlighted in the research. See, previous iterations were entirely focused on motor cortex control. That was all about action, allowing a patient to move a cursor on a screen or control a robotic limb just by thinking about movement. But the N4 brings us to deep layer integration directly into the prefrontal cortex. It is no longer just tapping into the part of your brain that moves an arm. The hardware physically integrates deeply into the part of your brain responsible for your personality, your complex decision-making, and your very sense of self. To maintain the illusion of a single unified consciousness, the N4 constantly analyzes the speed of thought and manages latency thresholds. The biological brain operates on a remarkably precise rhythm. If an external AI responds too slowly, with too much latency, the brain rejects it as foreign. But if the N4 achieves zero latency,
If it perfectly matches or even predicts the speed of your organic thought, your mind could simply accept the machine's output as its own. This is where we really have to slow down, because the philosophical implications of this zero-latency translation, as explored by the authors, are incredibly profound. Let's move to and see how this builds into the final and most crucial concept from the source material, Part 5, the algorithmic collective. The source material gives us a pretty stark, sobering definition here. An algorithmic collective is a high-bandwidth integration network where individual consciousness and the self potentially dissolve. If your prefrontal cortex is wirelessly integrated into a high-speed global AI network, the source posits that the individual borders of your mind begin to break down. You are no longer an isolated, independent thinker. You literally become a node in a vast, shared digital mind. And these are the ultimate stakes of the N4 interface. On one hand, can we achieve this incredible connection while preserving individual agency? Or does this inevitably lead to dissolving the self entirely? If a high-bandwidth neural integration is finishing your thoughts before you can even consciously process them, or feeding you information seamlessly from the collective network, well, the article questions if there is any room left for the individual at all. If an algorithm is deeply involved in your cognitive processes, who is actually in control? Which leaves us with this final massive provocation to take away from our explainer today. As the biological wall between synaptic firing and binary code comes down, the source material forces us to ask, when that chip activates, is your consciousness still yours, or have you already dissolved into the algorithmic collective? It's a heavy reality the research suggests we may have to face much sooner than we think. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next one.